Hello, and welcome back to Fifth Entertainment. Been a while. I won't get into it, but let's just say it was quite a hard year. But now I'm back to my merry self, and definitely happy to be doing reviews again. So let's talk about our first review for my 31 days of horror films on Fifth Entertainment for 2022. That would be the new Scream Factory Collector's Edition of The Howling from 1980. This is the first time in 4K Ultra HD. Now, this one doesn't have HDR on it. This is solely Dolby Vision. Does not have a Dolby Atmos track. It has a DTS HD master audio track. Forgive me, this seems like it's not focused or something. It's probably just on me and my eyes and stuff. It's late at night. But basically, it has a new 2021 4K restoration by Studio Canal. Although people don't think this actually is, it actually has a brand new 5.1 DTS HD master audio sound presentation. In the previous Scream Factory release, which I did not get, it only had a mono DTS HD sound presentation. There's a difference between mono audio and actual 5.1 surround sound audio. And this is the only way you can watch it with 5.1 surround sound audio. It's in the 4K Ultra HD Collector's Edition right here. And also on the regular Blu-ray, if you get this, you don't have 4K, but you still want to watch something that's similar, the second Blu-ray disc does have the new 4K scan on it as well. It's just not mastered in 4K like it is on the first disc. Now, this does not have a flip side cover, which is usually the way it is with these 4K releases. There is no alternate artwork, but the original poster art, you just really cannot beat that. That's some pretty good artwork. As you see, like always, Scream Factory really packs a punch when it comes to special features. Alright, so the plot synopsis. Alright, the plot of the movie. Alright, from the director of Goonies and Piranha comes the ultimate masterpiece of primal terror. Severely shaken after a near-fatal encounter with a serial killer, TV newscaster Karen White, Dee Wallace from E.T. Extraterrestrial, as well as Cujo, what does it say on here, takes some much-needed time off, hoping to encounter her inner demons. She heads for the colony, a secluded retreat where her new neighbors are just a tad too eager to make her feel at home. Also, there seems to be a bizarre link between her would-be attacker in this supposedly safe haven. And when, after nights of being tormented by savage shrieks and unearthly cries, Karen ventures into the forest to find answers. She makes a terrifying discovery. Now she must fight not only for her life, but for her very soul. Okay. I do that these days because of the fact that this takes too long to come up with my own plot synopsis. But to make this pretty simple, this is probably the most iconic in most celebrated werewolf movie of all time. This actually is more talked about than the original The Wolfman from 1940s. And people talk more about The Howling than they do about American Werewolf in London, which is a film I do eventually want to get. Now, as for the experience of watching this, well, the setup has changed a bit for Foose Entertainment as well, so I actually have a actual 4K television in a very high-tech Sony soundbar. As you can see, the collection's definitely gotten a lot bigger, gotten better display cases. Kind of limited in space, so it's actually, I do all my viewing and stuff like that in my bedroom. I had to move back in to where I once lived before, to put it that way. It took me a while to get things all ready and preparated for all of this. But let's go over specs on widescreen ratio. This is a 1.85 by 1 widescreen film. So that means you will have little borders on the top and bottom of the screen, but it won't be bars like it is obviously on this video. This video, I set the camera to record in a 2.35.1 old school CinemaScope frame. This film does not have a CinemaScope frame, so it will just about cover the entire screen, and for the naked eye it will cover your entire screen. It's only when you get really close to the screen you'll notice there's actually little pillar boxes on the top and bottom of the screen, but they're very, very small. You can't see them. So that's the way it's presented. Now, as for the quality, definitely Dolby Vision. Definitely that. There's no HDR 10 or HDR 10 Plus at all in this presentation. It is quite solely Dolby Vision. And it has much more of a very noir film look element to it. But because of the ones that are Dolby Vision, as well as it being in 2160p Ultra HD, you can see things that you have never seen before, and this film looks entirely different than it has in previous releases all the way back to VHS days. I would say you would actually have to go to a movie theater in 1980 and watch the film, and it may or may not be as good as the way it looks in this release. It certainly doesn't sound as good as it does in this release, because the original tracks for The Howling in 1980 was mono audio, and so definitely sounds a lot different. Now, it has more neutral colors in this movie. Neutral colors and more like crown-like colors when it comes to bright images and the colors. And so this is not a very brightly lit movie. It's a very film grain looking movie. That said, there are points in the film where it can indeed get a little bright. And this is kind of where the manipulation with my television actually makes the Dolby Vision pop a little bit more due to having HDR manipulating it. Because it doesn't say that it is, it definitely does not say that it is compatible with HDR, but HDR does play back a little bit on this, but it's not really designed for HDR, so you're not going to really have that high dynamic range when it comes to the colors in the image. It's going to kind of be more softer. It's not going to be so dramatically vibrant, like something that actually is designed to communicate with high dynamic range on your television or projector. So that's how that goes. The audio, I found this one to be a pretty basic standard DTS HD 5.1 sound presentation, which means you're not going to have a whole lot going on with it, but you're going to have audio effects on all of your speakers. Or in my case, on my vertical surround engine on my very high-tech Sony soundbar. Definitely creates a lot of effects around you. So that's definitely there. And well, that's pretty much about all there's to say about The Howling. Now, personally, do I think this is the best werewolf movie of all time? Well, I'll be honest. The first time I watched this, I was like, this is the most overrated and most overhyped fucking werewolf movie. Because I don't get it. I don't. But upon the second watching, which I did recently of this movie, for this event, I found myself changing my mind. Because I actually took time to really pay attention to everything and take it all in. And, yeah, my opinion has changed. This is a great werewolf film. Is it the best one of all time? I don't know. There's one werewolf film I have not seen yet that if I see that and does not compare to this, then it might be. And of course that is an American Werewolf in London. I have actually not seen an American Werewolf in London. Or his somewhat sequel, American Werewolf in Paris. I have not seen either one of those films, so I can't come to a conclusion to whether or not 1980's The Howling is the best werewolf film of all time. But I know there are a lot of people out there that probably consider it to be the very best werewolf film of all time. And that's all there is for this review. I'll see you guys next time, which is going to be obviously in about 30 seconds for my next review. Until then.